Welcome again. Today we'll be covering what's new in RB Web 8 that we will be releasing actually tomorrow updates. So first of all, let me talk about the attorney side first. And in the My Web, we activated your firm level repository and attorney repository so that now you are able to publish those documents that are stored in those two repositories and share those documents with your client. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now I'm at the attorney site. Let me go ahead and log in. Mr. Baker logs in. On the My Web, on the left-hand column, you will see two more menus. First one says firm repository. So this will show all the documents you stored for this firm and published and sharing. Remember that pricing contract that we signed with the client is there. And on the attorney repository, that signature sample I uploaded for this client. So if you have any kind of document just for one attorney or one firm, such as a quote, pricing contract, or whatever, you can now store in the repository and share with your client. In the transcripts area and a case repository where clients will see all the documents and files, transcripts and exhibits, they've been asking us to give them ability to mark it reviewed. You know, if they're looking at a bunch of stuff, they don't know which one they downloaded already and which one they haven't. So we added a column called reviewed, which is basically a date timestamp, and there will be a command called mark as reviewed. Let's take a look at how that works. So let me go to transcripts. As an attorney, I'm working on a case against the National Oil. So let's say I type in National, I search, and we just studied this case. So there's only one witness, and there are 4 files, condensed PDF, regular PDF, and a couple exhibits. So I'm going to go ahead and download this particular file. And after I download it, I go, you know what, I don't need to download this anymore. So let me go ahead and mark it as reviewed. So you'll click on this hyperlink, and then basically we'll change that to date and timestamp. Now if attorney made a mistake, he goes, oh no, I downloaded the full size, I didn't mean to do that. He can just simply clear that, and then I meant to say this one is reviewed. And they can do the exactly same thing under case repository. So if they go to case repository, which is more general or has more files, again, let's pull up National, then search for the cases. And so far there's only one plaintiff, and I go into the case, this one, and then as I download a particular contract, for example, I can mark that as reviewed also. Okay, so this way they can readily see the new files been uploaded without looking through a bunch of files or transcripts. Now in Calendar, for your client, when they are rescheduling the existing job, now they can attach files such as a new notice. You know, when date changes, obviously the secretary has a new notice that they can attach easily in the rescheduling screen. I'll show you in a minute. A lot of you have been asking us to simplify the online order form because it's too long or too complex or too many things that you don't really need. And then on top of that, build a custom section the way you want it. So first of all, let me show you the attaching files when rescheduling. So let me go to Calendar, and we are looking at October calendar here. Let's say this is the job for October 28th. They say we'd like to reschedule. Reschedule screen comes up, which date, simply put a new date. And then down here, now they can go ahead and browse and attach some files like a new notice with this job or new date. Let's go take a look at our online order form. So secretary will go, I'd like to request new job. So she clicks on this button up here. And as you can see, we pretty much have everything in there. Job information, expert, location information, ordering, request of services, billing information, attachment. You might say, I never have any client bother to give us the accurate information about billing. They never actually do that. Request services, they don't bother with that. I like to get rid of all this and make our online form very much simple. So let me go ahead and cancel this. Let's go into RB 8. And since this deals with the web, we will go to Tools, web and site configuration. So this is where you make all the changes pertaining to your website, RB Web. You will notice that there is now a new tab on the left-hand side called Calendar Custom Form. And all these checkboxes at the top here, every one of them is now checked, means that all those fields will appear when you do online scheduling. Let's remove some of these. So I don't want any of the billing information. That just confuses the client, and they never give us accurate information anyway. Services, specialties, subpoenaed witness, export type. So let me go ahead and save that. Now let's switch to web. So now let's go back into request a new job. We have job information with the export type disappeared. Location still there. Services gone, billing information gone, and attachment. So this is better. The problem is now I don't have a section that deals with special services like video, they want interpreter, they want rough draft. Well, you can now build a custom section the way you like it. Let's go back to our RB. Custom order form tab. Bottom section is dealing with that custom section. Now you're building your own section that will appear on that ordering form, online form. Well, why don't we call this services requested, okay? And then I want to add a few items new. What is the data? Well, I want to ask them yes or no first. So let me select that. What's the field name? You know what? I'm going to ask them whether they want a video or not. And then my default value will be obviously no. It's okay. All right. What else do you want to ask the client? Another thing that's very important to us is interpreter. Again, it's a yes/no question. And then again, the default value will be no, they don't need it. If they need an interpreter, obviously I need to know the language. Just let me add one more. This is going to be text field. The field name will be language. You can also type in some instruction, please type in the language. You can also make a certain field required field. Well, this is not required field. You can design your own section with all the different kinds of date field, yes/no field, text field, and so on. Now let's switch to RB Web, and let's actually request a job here. So let's go request a new job. We want a reporter for November 3rd, 9 o'clock. No, it's going to start at 10 o'clock all day. Case name is the Foley case. Video, yeah, we need a videographer. And we need a Spanish interpreter. How's that? This section here is what we just created. Services requested. So let me go ahead and request a job. If we go to take a look at November, now there is a 10 a.m. Foley case has been requested. So that's how you will be building your custom section and simplify the online scheduling form. So you have those two tools to fine-tune your online requesting form to better fit your client base or your area you're serving. Now if I go back to RB8 within a few seconds, because I'm the calendar manager logged in currently, so I'll be getting a notification saying somebody just did online scheduling. There it is. So let me go ahead and click on that message center. From Stephen Baker's office, we just got a job, so let me click on this hyperlink. Secretary just typed Foley, and obviously, I need to look up the real case, so let me go ahead and look up. Yep, that's the national oil case. So let's go ahead and select that. So that's the real case name. If you look at the tabs up here, the last tab you have is called Web Custom Fields. If you click on it, that's where your data will appear. Whatever section you created, and then all the client asked for will be listed here. So that's the new tab you will see for those jobs coming online. used to be just simply say this job was created by the web user and you didn't know who the web user was. Now it will tell you which office or who actually scheduled the job, Mr. Stephen Baker, or whoever logged in as him is the person who put the job in. So you will be by looking, and now you can simply say, let me go to our section where actually service can be requested. I need a video and Spanish interpreter out of my service items list. So that client's request gets translated into actual services that will be billed later and carried out through the worksheet and production sheet and so on. Now let's go take a look at our reporter side. We have a reporter repository which is now published. Let's go back to our web, go to the reporter site, log in. Kelly logs in, our new reporter, Kelly Johnson. And again, on the left-hand side where my web is, there is the new menu, Reporter Repository. So when she clicks on it, now she'll be able to see and download or view the contract she signed or contract agreement she signed with the office will be in this area called Reporter Repository. Now let's look at some of the changes we made to calendar. Now remember yesterday we were talking about calendar notes for a particular firm and calendar notes for a particular contact. So reporters should be able to see that somewhere when they're in calendar. So I'll show you that. You can now select which custom worksheet you want to use for web. On calendar, let's go to Kelly's calendar. And let's just go into any joint job. So let's say October 1st, she goes in here. And down here, when she's looking at the client, Stephen Baker, down here is the firm notes. Remember that building having metal detectors and allow 10 minutes? And attorney talks fast and hard to understand. Well, now those calendar notes will be appearing on the reporter's calendar on RB Web. And then when you view worksheet, it will be the worksheet you chose, like one of your custom worksheet that you designed using Form Manager. Now let me show you where you change it. So in RB8, again going back to our website configuration, in the Calendar Other tab, right below the map type, whether you are using Google or MapQuest or whatever, right here, now you have a drop down to select either blank, which means I want to use the RB Web default, or I want to use one of my own worksheets. So that's where you will be making selection. The biggest change we have made that I'm going to take the rest of the webinar to show you is concerning turn-in. First of all, it's a small change, but we are now showing whether the firm is a COD or not as a reporter turns it in. We made a turn-in into two modes. Wizard mode, which is really designed for new reporters who never got training, doesn't have an RB Web manual, no time to read a manual, absolutely no desire to learn about RB Web turn-in. It's designed for them. It's a wizard mode. And advanced mode is for those people that what they're doing, technically oriented, so they just want to go quickly get to the point and do it on all one screen. When you get a brand new reporter, you have no time to train, let them use the wizard mode and they might just want to stay there. Experienced reporters who's been doing turn-in for some time can switch and try the advanced mode. I'm going to show you both and let you make a decision. Now you can also simplify the turn-in further by turning off the certain options like pre-fill. If you feel that pre-fill parties and pre-fill services is too complex, well, then you can just take those options away and make it very simple. Now, when the new firms or contacts are added, remember, if you enable your reporters so that they can add a new firm or new attorney, I want to allow them to enter those, except I want to monitor the quality. So now we have an option where every time the new firms or contacts are added through RB Web by the reporters, office will be notified through the message center. I'll show you where you can set that up. So let's take a look at this. Okay, let's go to turn-in. I'm going to use the wizard mode first, and we'll just walk through. reading the instructions, and just pretend you're a brand new reporter, never seen RB Web, and they are asked to turn in jobs online so that your task will be diminished and so on. So now Kelly is a new reporter. She just logs into RB Web. She's looking at a turn-in screen. She sees the 3 jobs, 13 days old, 7 days old. And instruction says, select the mode, then click a job number to begin. Well, Wizard is the default. Now, whatever mode they select will stay as a default from now on. So if somebody says, advanced, then next time they log in, it will be advanced mode. So let's go ahead, and she's ready to turn in this job, 13 days old. Okay, so click on it. Step 1, it says edit the job information if needed. I got the case number, so let me just go ahead and plug that in. And no rush job. It says enter special notes about this job. Do not enter notes for each witness here. So they put job notes, and then go next. Now, when they go to next, since no witness has been turned in, RB Web will automatically open up for them to put in the witness without them clicking the new button. So it's automatic now. So she goes, oh, Henry Chomsky. Yeah, I think that was the guy's name. 137 pages. Okay, and everything else, nope. And then right on the same screen, you can browse and upload all files right here. Oh, let me just go ahead and upload the ASCII. So let's say my ASCII files are right here. I just created. And then she can change it if she wanted to, change the file type for us. And that's it. And then it automatically opens up the second file. Do you have some more? It'll just keep on going until she uploads all files that she has. Then just click on next. Now, there's one witness here, and it says to add another witness, click here. Otherwise, click next. Do I have another witness? No, not this one. So let me just go ahead and click next. Okay. Now, we're at the step 3 already. Now, this is where pre-fill comes up. If you want to turn off this pre-fill thing, you can disable it so that they'll just simply add one firm after another. So basically what pre-fill says is that the following parties are from the job. Click the add checkbox next to each party you want. It's original. Select the rush type. Do all that right here, and then click next. So she goes, yep, he's ordering, Mr. Baker. He's paying for original. And then they can select any one of these rush. But I'm already 13 days behind. Okay, and then go next. Now we added one party, and then it says to add another party, click here. Well, I have one more copy order, so I need to go ahead and click here. Basically, it says click this magnifying glass, and then look for the attorney, Pettit. See if it's my lucky day. Let's go ahead and search for it. Oh, that's the one, Mr. Stephen Pettit's office. Now, this is where they will be able to add a new firm and attorney. If they do, then you will be notified through the message center that they did. That way you can check them. Make sure if they duplicate it, you can merge them, something like that. Select it. And then from that firm, there's Mr. John Pettit. And same as the sold to means that we're also sending invoice there. And then who is he ordering? Well, it's already selected here, Mr. Henry Chomsky as a witness. They can also pick a rush type right here for copy order and then say next. Now that's where the COD indicator is. There's the COD yes here. Now we have 2 parties, Stephen Baker and John Pettit. Do you have any more people to add? No, it's ON2, that's it. Now let's go to next. Now this is the last step. Now what it's asking is that instead of entering one service item at a time manually, you can select one of the predefined billing sets to add several items all at once. Do you want to see the list of billing sets to choose from? This question will not come up if you do not publish any of the billing sets. If you decide that it's too much for the reporters to digest what that means, you can turn this off. And they'll add a billing set one item at a time, manually. I think it's a good idea if you just let them know. It's asking the question, and they go, you know what, I want to see what billing set is. They go, yes. It'll pull up those billing sets that you are enabled for turn-in versus all the office step only. This is all-in-one, I was there half day. And when you select the billing set, then she can pick original, copy with original, no exhibits, and half day per diem. Now these service items apply to which firm, which attorney? Stephen Baker. And then you go save. Now since we have one more attorney left, it's going to keep asking the same question. Do you want to see the list again? Yes. Well, this time I'm going to select different one, copy. And then the only thing they're going to pay for is the copy, no exhibits. And this applies to which attorney? Well, there's only one left. And then save. We are showing the reporter what they have done so far. What about ASCII disk? It didn't ask for ASCII disk. Well, whoever designed the billing sheet, didn't bother putting ASCII. To add another service item, click here. Then she'll select a production item and whatever, let's say, make an amicus. And the only attorney is asking for that is John Pettit, copy guy. Save. So I just added the amicus disk right here. Done. So when you next, well, that's when the billing sheet comes up and they can print, save this PDF or don't do anything. And then they basically will go ahead and submit to the office. So that's the wizard mode. And again, as I said, you can further simplify it, but I think if they read an instruction on the screen, new reporters without being exposed to trainings or other instructions from you guys will be able to do a turn-in accurately. Let me just go ahead and close without submitting it. Advanced mode, you go back into the same job. It simply displays everything on one screen, just like your online form. There's a job information, there's the witness section, there's a file section, there's a parties section, there's a service section, that's it. Now this one, we call it advanced because now you have to know, this pencil button is to edit, this X button is to delete. Your experienced reporters will say, no, he didn't order amicus disk. No, let me just take it out of there. Okay. You know what they really asked for was the condensed transcript or e-transcript. So let me go ahead and do new service and go back to production. This time I'm going to select the e-transcript and who's ordering it? John Pettit or both, and then save that. Now you added the e-transcript to Mr. Baker and also Mr. Pettit. Okay. So as you can see, this is the one screen. You can just simply go to any section to add and subtract and delete and change and edit and so on. So it's pretty straightforward. With a little bit of knowledge of what these buttons do, you're able to just simply stay here and do everything in one screen. That's the idea of advanced mode. So you can compare the two, and then each reporter, as they get comfortable with the turn-in, they can choose either mode. They can start with the wizard mode and stay on it for a while, and once they're comfortable, they can switch to the advanced mode and save time. Let me briefly go to RB here. In the website configuration, remember that I said that anytime the firms or contacts are added, you will be notified? Well, that's under users and groups because we call that alert group. So if you go to tools and users and groups, there are a bunch of groups here. There's alert groups, and this is when assigned jobs are canceled, you're notified. When COD invoice is posted, you're notified. When credit card payments are received, you're notified, and so on and so forth. We added a new group called New Firm or Contact Added via RB Web. Okay, who do you want to notify in your office? So let's take a look at who's in there. So far, the reporter manager, Yong Lee, will be notified anytime new firm or contact has been added through RB Web by the reporters. That way I can go take a look and make sure that it's not a duplicate or whatever. Let me show you one more thing, exciting, upcoming in January. We call it RB Web 8 Mobile Edition, truly mobile edition for iPhone, Android, Windows 7 telephone. It will be released in January, a few months, and it will be plug-in. Looks something like this on your iPhone or other devices. So this is the application designed just for the mobile devices. So actually, let me show you the I have an Android phone on my computer plugged in there. Right, so this is my Android phone. And let me log in as David, Mr. David. And then our main screen comes up with these beautiful icons. Let me go to my web where all your profiles are. So let me look at my profile. I should be called doctor from now on. Okay, so he can change it, and then he can just simply go ahead and save the information. So that's the profile part of it. Go back home. Let's go look at the transcripts. And he's working on Merck. And all the buttons will be up here, just like on the telephone. See, Android is not my phone, so let me go to search. And all the files will come up. Case, you just click on any one of the files. And then file information will come up, and this is where you can download the file. Remember that reviewed will be Dave Stamp. So he already reviewed this file, so he can clear it. Is he checking for some of the invoices, for example, activity? And let me change this date. Go back to 2005. And then search. And just like all the invoices will come up. So you can see that this is not just a regular website displayed on a small, tiny little device. This is the web designed just for the mobile devices. So we call it a mobile app edition. What you can also do, if you give us the logo of your company, ABC Code Reporting, we can actually register that icon as the iPhone apps. So your clients will be able to download your ABC company code reporting web. You don't have to call RB web. You can call it, whatever your company name web. Download as one of the apps, free apps, obviously, for your client. They can simply click your icon, just like you go into any of the iPhone apps, your company icon, and then we'll bring up to this menu. So it looks like you guys spend a lot of money developing a mobile device edition of your web by offering your client iPhone or Android apps in the future for your marketing. So now, as you know, the world is truly becoming mobile. So that's what we're working on, and it will be released a couple months. We're almost done. Oh, let me actually show you the couple things that I forgot to show you, where to change those pre-fill options. In RB8, when you go to website configurations in accessibility, the reporter, there are two flags here. It says allow pre-fill parties. So if you don't want that pre-fill stuff come up when they do a turn-in, you can simply turn that off. And we will not even mention pre-fill stuff at all. Okay? So if you wanted to further simplify it, you can do that, which I don't recommend, but if you really wanted to, you can do that too. And if you don't want them to add all attendance, then you can also disable that. This is to add someone who's not ordering anything, just to show up. And then I know it's very important to some of you to know complete attendance, so the reporter can do a turn-in, all the other turn-ins, even though they're not ordering. Then if you don't want to do that, then you need to go ahead and activate that. So those two are the check boxes that control that part of it.